welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a mix of whisper and also some soft spoken. I have been watching a lot of petite Stacy videos, and she's a very lovely ASMR artist who usually does soft-spoken videos. She's amazing. Go check her out if you don't know who she is already. But I wanted to include a little bit more soft-spoken in my videos, as I never do them. I hope you enjoy. Today we're going to be talking about the books that I read in January. And I only read 2 books in January. I started a couple other books that I'm in the middle of reading. However, I have not finished them yet, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And we're also going to talk about books that I have collected from thrift shops and from the library that I can't wait to read. So, a little bit of a TBR. First, let's start with the book that I finished reading the first week of January. The Cruel Prince. I mentioned that I read this book, I think, in another book video, but I was saving my thoughts for this video. The Cruel Prince is a super popular book, and it follows Jude, who is a human in the fairy world. When Jude and her sisters, she has a twin sister and she has an older sister, I believe. When Jude and her sisters were very young, this evil man comes to their house and basically ends up kidnapping them and killing their parents. After that, Jude and her sisters move in with this evil man, and this man becomes their father. One of her sisters is Faye, and she is human, so she's kind of like struggling to fit in, but she has made it work for herself by being strong through swordsmanship. She can use the sword very well. She's strong and smart, and basically in this world, I think it's called Elfame. In this fairy world, there's many different creatures, and there comes a time in Jude's life that they have to go to the fairy court, because it's like a thing where they all gather and the men choose wives for themselves. It's very misogynistic and old school, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to be strong enough to, be chosen for the courts and work for the king based on her strength and not marrying into some family. beginning was a little bit slow, but after you get through it, it gets pretty exciting. She goes on this mission, teams up with some criminal people, kind of criminal adjacent people, and starts scheming to save her little brother. And throughout this journey, she meets this prince, the cruel prince, who has been bullying her. But it's not always as what it seems, and he is hiding some secrets. But yeah, I cannot wait to start reading Wicked King, which is the second one. I got this in a charity shop, so it's all beaten down. But yeah, I think this is longer than the second book. But this is the Folk of Air trilogy. And there's like a companion book called King of Elfheim. I recommend it if you like fairy books and fantasy, but do not expect a lot of action in the first part of the book. It's like setting the world up. But after that, it just all goes haywire and it's very fun, so I recommend. I gave it 5 stars. So, yeah, 5 stars. I'm sorry I took so long to explain this, but hopefully it is relaxing. I'm not really good with explaining plot. I don't remember some of it, and the things that I remember would spoil the book quite massively, so I would refrain from talking about it. But all I gotta say is I loved the ending. Just before the ending, where things were, if you read, This is the second book that I read this month, and it was okay. I don't know, it's not for me. I don't think I'm going to continue reading these books. No offense to Hannah Grace, I think it's just not for me. I gave it a 3 stars. It follows Russ and Aurora, and they are dealing with a lot of daddy issues, and this is kind of how they also connect together, but they have to work on this summer camp for children, and they have met before prior to working together, and they're like, oh my god, oh shit, like and it just follows them day to day during the camp, and I got really bored reading it, to be honest. Nothing was happening. If you're looking for some sort of plot, this is not the book for you, because it was pretty bland, I would say. I thought the conflict was not really a conflict. I don't know, I was like, what is the point of this book? Other than like they had really cute moments together, sure, and there's spice scenes in this one, so it's not for anyone under the age of like 18, it says, but I'll say like 17, just don't read it if you're underage. But even the spice scenes, like, it was good, I guess, underlined some things throughout the book. I thought that the guy was really cute at some points, and I was just like, oh my god, it's so cute. But then it would get really boring, and I really struggled going through it. I don't know, how did I underline it? I can't see any of the things that I underlined. I thought Russ was cute, and everybody likes this character, so if you like the boy, you're gonna like the book. Oh my god, because I used like pastel colored. I couldn't see it. Anyways, this also has like a flash forward, which is something I despise. It ends in a happy way. I mean, it's like pink and cute, like it's going to end in a happy way, but I just don't need the flash forward. Just let me imagine it, like in a book like this where there's so little substance. No offense, just let me imagine the ending, you know? Just leave it at that. I don't need a flash forward. I can picture them growing all together, you know? You don't have to tell me. But yeah, I gave it a 3 because I was being nice. But honestly, it was just boring. Nothing to do with the writing. It was just boring and there was no plot. Okay, so a book that I'm currently reading, As Good as Dead, by Holly Jackson. I'm really struggling getting through this book. I don't know, maybe I'm not in the right headspace, the right mindset. Maybe I just don't feel passionate about reading it right now. But this basically is the 3rd book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I'm like a quarter of the way in. I read this much, and it's the same good writing, good fast-paced writing that I loved in the other 2. It's just, I was thinking, like, is this necessary at this point? Did we need a 3rd book? I didn't really know, but there is, from the duct tape, if you know you're like true crime, murderers, killers, like, you might be able to deduce what this is about. The duct tape. But I'm at this point where, like, she is going into like the beginning of solving the mystery, if that makes sense. She's beginning her investigation, and she is doing some questionable things, and I understand why she's doing them, but also the reviews that I read make me really scared about how this book is going to like unfold, because a lot of people have been saying, no, like, this isn't how it should end, like, what have you done? And I'm honestly quite frightened of what's going to happen in this book. But yes, I just want to read more of Ravi and Pip, and I hate that she's being dishonest. She's being such an idiot. But yeah, I don't know the rating yet because I'm reading it currently. Okay. I'm also reading the 3rd book in the Crave series, but it's not with me right now, and I only just started it. But yeah, I have no opinions as of now. I'm just like in a slump. Okay, books that I'm super excited to read. I got a copy of Ruthless Vows, and I realized I am very intimidated by hardbacks. I read the first one on my phone and I read I just don't want to say goodbye to these characters. I'm just scared what's gonna happen to them. And also the hardback really genuinely like scares me. I like this. This cover is kind of okay. I don't like the covers. I would prefer no people in the covers, to be honest. I like the US covers much better. It's just me. But yeah, I'm excited of what's going to happen. And if you don't know what the first one is, it's called Divine Rivals, and this is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. And it is a romantasy. A romantasy is like a fantasy and a romance. There's like crumbs of romance. Like the romance is the side plot, but not the very minuscule plot, if that makes sense. Like, it plays a big role because I would say that these books are very much character driven. In this one, I'm expecting a little bit more world building, hopefully. And I don't know what's gonna happen in this. What's my reading gonna be? Because I haven't started it, but I love like the design on the inside. The little cute little. Oh, the letter. There's 4 parts to this. I just love this like design of the stars and stuff. I can't wait to get into this. And I know when I get into it, like when I start reading it, I'm not gonna be able to stop. I'm just so scared to say goodbye to these characters, and I love Roman. Like, I'm in love with this man. Do you understand? Yeah, very excited. Another hardback that I have. Let's go with the hardbacks. And this is a very random one. And this is out of character for me. I saw this in a charity shop and I was like, let's see what the thing is about with Colleen Hoover. And Verity is a very controversial book, so I'm kind of excited to get into this because I just want to see what it's about and why people are so divided for it. I think a lot of people like hate in general Colleen's writing or love Colleen's writing, so excited to see what it's about, you know. I don't know if I'll ever read her most popular book, but I know that when I was like 16, I read 2 of her books in Turkish. So, and I had no idea it was Colleen Hoover. And I remember vividly, it was like a love story about this boy and a girl, and they couldn't be together or something. And I was like sobbing. I was having a visceral reactions reading her books. And I'm just wondering, like, I don't know what books those are because I forgot the names now. But I apparently read Colleen Hoover before. I can't believe it. But yeah, this is called Verity. And I think this is her. I don't know if she has other thriller books, but this is a thriller. A thriller. And I got this from the charity shop, and I kid you not, this is a signed copy. It's not been signed by hand, but it's still signed. It's digitally signed. Open if you dare, it says on the back. This, I think, is gonna be so quick to read because look at this. The writing is huge, but it still looks so intimidating because of the hardback format. But yeah, I think it's gonna be super quick to get through, and I'm looking forward to it because of that. But yes, I two other random ones. So, one of them, let's go with the charity shop one to kind of stop. Like, this is all the things that I got from the charity shop. So, this was, I think, £1 or something, and the woman at the charity shop told me that it was really good and very interesting because it's like from the perspective of the different guests that attend to this event that happens in the book. I have no idea what this book is about, but it is by Lucy Foley, and it's called The Guest List. The Guest List. A Remote Island. An Invitation to Die For. So, and she wrote The Hunting Party, which is super duper popular. I think this is also very popular, so hopefully it will be very exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It says on the back, off the windswept Irish coast, guests gather for the wedding of the year. Old friends, past grudges, happy families, hidden jealousies. 13 guests, one body. One guest won't leave this wedding alive. Crazy. But yeah, excited that I found this at the thrift. Then let's go into a couple of library books, and then I'm gonna show you all the new books that I got. So I'm not gonna talk about this too much because everybody knows what this book is, and I actually do own a copy of this book. It's just not here with me. This is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. It says, working as an intern for a New York fashion magazine in the summer of 1953, Esther Greenwood is on the brink of her future. Yet she is also on the edge of a darkness that makes her world increasingly unreal. Esther's vision of the world shimmers and shifts, day-to-day living in the sultry city, her crazed men friends, the hot dinner dances. The Bell Jar, Sylvia Plath's only novel, is partially based on Plath's own life. It has been celebrated for its darkly funny and razor-sharp portrait of 1950s society and has sold millions of copies worldwide. I am very excited to read this. I think I've got like less than 15 days to read this, or I need to get an extension. But it is a shorter book. However, the language, because I Harvard and finds herself dangerously overwhelmed by the challenges and possibilities of adulthood. How does she find friends? Literally, this is why. How will she fall in love? How does she deal with how difficult it is to be a failed writer, and how baffling love is? At once clever and clueless, Butterman's heroine shows us with perfect hilarity and soulful inquisitiveness just how messy it can be to forge a self. I am so excited to read this. It's a coming of age book, college age, coming of age, like anything that was mentioned in the back. If you relate to any of that, I think it will be a good book, you know what I mean? So I'm super excited. It's around 400 pages. She has 2 other books now, I think. But the US cover is like pink, and it has a rock in the cover. And I am deducing it is because Rock, which she's Turkish American, and the rock, sometimes you could say taş kafalı, and it means you're an idiot. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I would recommend you to try it out, even though I didn't read it yet. Another thing that I kind of want to read, because it's like a classic and it's like short. It is 100 something pages, and it is Of Mice and Men, and yeah, I've never read it before. John Steinbeck. I would just want to know what it's about. I don't want to talk about this one too much because I'm sure like you have read it in school or something, because a lot of people are made to read this in school. I might have read a shortened version of this just in another language, but I don't remember it at all, so it's something about the American dream. A thriller, a gripping tale that you will not set down until it is finished. But yeah, I gotta read it, it's a classic. Alright, and now I have 3 books that are quite different genres. But I'm super excited to read them because so this one I've shown you before, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So I don't want to talk about it that much, but you can definitely see me talking about this in another video. It is a fantasy, romantasy. There is something going on in here. It says enemies to lovers, but I've heard other people say that it's not really enemies, because it's kind of like insta-love. But I really love this cover, and I'm very intrigued, and I heard a lot of nice things about it, so I can't wait to read it. That's pretty much all I have to say, because I don't really know that much about it. I just think I'll enjoy it, to be honest. So yeah, and I'm so excited to read this. This is literally my favorite show on Netflix. I love Tully and Kate. I can't. I love this. It's so good. And the last book on the list that I am really looking forward to reading, and this one I got yesterday from Waterstones. It's the Waterstones exclusive edition. I think it's pretty new. I haven't seen it on the book stands before. And what got me is the back said lyrical, grotesque, and pulsing with feminist rage. This is sapphic horror at its very finest. Do you like feminist rage, sapphic books? This is the one for you. But yeah, it looks like a good length. Like, I don't want to read books that are so long that I just don't want to read them, you know. I want like a decent length. Readable. I don't have to like sit there and like figure out the sentences. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to like do mental gymnastics to read it. Here it says, Emma Brine is haunted, hunted, and increasingly terrified as her clients, all desperate women willing to sell a piece of their soul for a scrap of magical power, are being killed off one by one. Jude Wolfe is rich as sin and as handsome as the devil, but she's also cursed. Her immortal soul is tethered to a demon, and her body is decaying. She needs a solution. Fast. Sarah Jones' sister has been murdered, but Sarah has no time to grieve. She is set on revenge and on bringing her sister back from the dead. The clock is ticking. As Jude and Sarah's darkly terrible paths drive them ever further into the occult, they arrive at the same grim location, the apartment of a murdered woman, and there they find a strange business card, inscribed with the words, Emma Brine, Curse Writer. Emma, Jude, and Sarah's lives are now unavoidably entwined. The three damaged young women, one cursed, one hunted, and one out for revenge, must track down and eliminate a brutal supernatural killer before they too become victims. I did not remember anything I said out loud right now. But if that didn't sell you the book, I don't know what will. It just sounds fun, you know. When I read it, I'll let you know my thoughts, and if you want to wait till another video, because I have a lot of book videos coming out. But yeah, this is from Hotkey Books, which is the same publisher for the Folk Fair trilogy, and it says Demons, Riches, Occult, Binding of the Soul as what's in it, because they have like these rings. But yes, it's got like purple sprayed edges. So pretty. The Invocations. It's not a very memorable book title, to be honest. The Invocations. There is body horror, murder, and violent scenes in this one, so beware. But that's fine. It says in the beginning, for all the angry girls. This book looks like it's made for me, and hopefully I will love it as much as I am hoping to. Yeah. Super excited. The writer's name I didn't this is basically all. Well, it's so many books, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount. It's like my winter TBR. I'm not expecting to read all of this in 1 month because, as you know, I work full time and I do this on the side, so I have literally no time to read most of the time. But I think 2-3 books a month is totally doable, and sometimes when I have days off, I'll read so much more. And you know, sometimes you get in these like moods where you just want to read and read and read it. That's when that happens, I think it's gonna be fabulous. But I'm also a person that picks up books, leaves them, picks up another book, and just keeps reading half of the books, and then comes back to the other half to finish it off. So it takes me a while to finish because I keep starting new ones. But I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you liked my soft spoken. Today my voice was not having it with it, so most of the videos turned out to be whispered, but hopefully you liked it. And let me know what books you are looking forward to reading, if you want to read any of these books from my list, and if you have, let me know what you rated.